All right, I'd like to call the order, people. Welcome. Welcome to the Planning Commission special meeting for Wednesday, August 20th. Roll call. Rod Anderson.
Present.
Jared Bachman. That's it. Bill Warner.
Here.
Brandon Ryder.
Present.
Candace Collins.
Here.
And Tim DeSario.
Here.
Great. With that said, we'll move on to item number 4, which is open public hearing. I'd like to get a motion for opening up the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
We'll take a second. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. Welcome, everyone. To start this out, the purpose of this hearing is really to record public comments regarding the draft of the 2025 North Hudson Comprehensive Plan. Each person is invited to present facts, opinions, or arguments in writing or orally, up there, please, in a summary presentation. The chair, like myself, will limit to 3 minutes per conversation, and please not to repeat any of the activities somebody prior ahead of you might have stated. With that said, we're going to lean it over to Nicole Peterson from our St. Croix County, who led most of this activity. So, Nicole, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Chair Zeiss. And good evening. I'm Nicole Peterson from St. Croix County. Thank you so much for inviting St. Croix County to provide technical assistance in the village's comprehensive plan update. And I'm going to try to keep this presentation as brief as possible, 10 to 15 minutes. And therefore, I ask you to just please keep your comments and questions till the end. And maybe take note of the slide number that's going to be at the bottom right of each slide. And then we'll take comments or questions on the comprehensive plan after. So the purpose of the comprehensive plan is to provide a guide to the physical, social, and economic development of the village. And the village's plan was last adopted in 2006. And Wisconsin State Statute 66.1001, it regulates comprehensive plans and requires updates every 10 years. And the reason for that is to update that community information, analyze the demographic trends, review zoning consistent with land use, gather public input, and of course, plan for the future. And the process to update your comprehensive plan began in June of last year. The Board of Trustees approved the agreement and adopted the public participation plan in August. We launched the project webpage and sent a promotional postcard in September of 2024. We hosted the kickoff vision session in November and administered the online survey from October to December. The draft plan review phase included 8 monthly meetings from December of last year to this past July. This evening, we're in the plan adoption phase and the required public hearing to review the final draft before the board consideration in hopefully September. The board approved this project schedule last year, and I'm happy to report that we did stay on schedule throughout the past year. And in preparation for this evening's meeting, the village staff published the meeting notice on July 17th. And we also posted the draft plan on the project webpage on July 30th and sent it to the board and the Plan Commission on July 17th. As mentioned, the process included a kickoff vision session meeting in November and 8 plan review meetings over the past year. And this is just a short summary of the element chapters that were reviewed at the meetings. I wanted to say a special note of gratitude and thank you so much to the participants that attended each of those meetings and shared their community knowledge to build and develop this plan and, of course, improve it. Tonight's meeting agenda includes this full plan summary with all the required elements, the public hearing, and a consideration of the resolution and recommendation to the board. The draft plan includes the Wisconsin statute required elements, including housing, transportation, utilities and community facilities, agricultural, natural, and cultural resources, economic development, intergovernmental cooperation, land use, and implementation. And the format of the draft plan includes the Wisconsin statute required element descriptions at the beginning of each chapter, the goals, objectives, strategies in each of the element topics. They're also referred to in the statute as issues and opportunities. All of that information is summarized within the implementation chapter. And the main kickoff public participation, including the vision session and the online survey, is summarized within the plan in Appendix A, Public Participation Summary. The introduction chapter includes the plan purpose and process, vision, overall goals, location, and regional context. As shown in the regional map, the village of North Hudson is located on the western edge of St. Croix County, and the village's western and southern borders are formed by the St. Croix River and Lake Malibu. To the south is the city of Hudson, and to the east and north is the town of Hudson. The introduction chapter also includes population demographics of age and gender and projections for the future based on trends of the past. As shown in the graph, the 2020 U.S. Decennial Census estimated that the village's population is approximately 3,800 residents. The data shows that the village has continually grown since 1950. The village of North Hudson was incorporated in 1912. This information is included in the housing chapter. Early village housing development was smaller homes on smaller lots with sidewalks and shorter front yard setbacks, narrower streets, and trees in the boulevards. Many residents would walk to work. And as the village evolved, neighborhoods have decreased in density with larger lot sizes, larger homes, more vehicles, and less or no sidewalks. Welcome, and you're welcome to sit right here. Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you. The map illustrates the most influential change in the residential lot sizes. Smaller lot and high-density housing examples are shown in red. The larger lots of medium and low density are shown in orange and yellow. Other data within the housing chapter shows year built, housing tenure, increased housing numbers since 1990, and projected growth based on that previous trend. However, some development constraints do exist in the village that may make the projected growth unlikely, including limited available land, steep slopes, and typical low-density style housing. If the village would consider higher residential densities in the future, that may allow the fulfillment of the housing projections. The prominent low-density housing, high demand demonstrated in low vacancy rates, and the development constraints have created housing affordability challenges within the village, and that's also discussed in this housing chapter. The housing chapter also includes data of type, home sales, housing value, building permits, and housing programs. The top graph on the slide shows that most of the homes in the village are single family, and in 2020, approximately 85% were single family. The bottom graph shows the median home value increased in the past decade. Housing value nearly doubled in the previous 10-year period from 2000 to 2010. And the draft plan also reports that the North Hudson's median housing value in 2020 was higher than both the state and the county. The transportation chapter begins with discussion of commuter patterns and modes of transportation. The top graph shows the place of work of village residents in 2010 and 2023 in 3 categories, including outside of the state, other Wisconsin county, and in the county of residence, or St. Croix County. The data reveals that more residents work in St. Croix County and in Wisconsin in 2023 than previously in 2010. The bottom graph shows the mode of transportation to work for residents. The data compares mode to work in 7 census categories in the years of 2000, 2010, and 2023. The data shows that most North Hudson residents drive alone or carpool to work. However, the number has decreased since 2000. 2 road functional classification maps are provided in the draft plan transportation chapter. The first one is focused on North Hudson only, and that's shown on the left. And number 2, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation published map that incorporates the village into the same map as the city of Hudson, shown on the right. The classification map highlights the different classifications of roadways, and in North Hudson, this includes the arterial Highway 35, shown in red, and the collectors, including 4th Street North, Monroe Street North, and Summers Street North, to name just a few. The transportation chapter also includes data of vehicle accidents, transit, bike and pedestrian, rail, air, truck, water, future improvements, and programs and plans. And the map on the slide shows the bike and pedestrian system, including existing and proposed infrastructure. The top graph shows accident crash data revealing the reduction in number from 2021 to 2023 and a slight increase in 2024. The bottom graph shows van trip data revealing the decrease in trips from 2008 to 2021 and an increase in 2023. The Utilities and Community Facilities chapter features an inventory of the village's shared services and village hall. As stated in the draft plan, many services are shared with City of Hudson and surrounding jurisdictions, or they're contracted out. This chapter also includes the use, capacity, and needs for general village operations, police, fire, and public works, with an example table shown in the bottom left on the slide, and then on the right, emergency services and fire protection maps. Other data in this chapter includes facilities map on the left, data about wastewater, water, stormwater, parks and recreation with a map shown on the right, also schools, library, health and child care, post office, cemetery, and future projects. The agricultural resources section includes discussion of the impact of surrounding watersheds, also St. Croix County agricultural trends and community gardens and urban farming. The natural resources section includes information regarding St. Croix River National Scenic Waterway and several environmental maps, including topography and elevation shown on the left, on the right actually. Oh no, it is on the left, sorry, and steep slopes shown on the right. There are so many maps, it was tough to pick. Other maps featured in the draft plan include environmental corridors shown on the left, and groundwater shown on the right, and surface water. Within the natural resources section, information regarding the Lake Malibu Dam and Conservancy area includes 2 maps showing the aerial view and ownership shown on the left, and also the current zoning, not up on the slide. Other data that's included in this section is floodplains, shorelines, stormwater runoff, forested and wooded lands, and endangered species. And on the right-hand side, the surface water and floodplain map is shown there. Within the cultural resources section, this includes Wisconsin Architecture and History Inventory, the National Register of Historic Places, archaeological sites, Village of North Hudson Historic Preservation Ordinance, and a description of the village's 1 historic district that's highlighted in red on the map and shown in the photos on the slide. This is referred to by the National Register of Historic Places as a very lengthy title that I dubbed Railroad Car Shop District. And I have this question for you, but you can't answer until after the presentation. I'm wondering what the village calls this district, because it's about 9 words long. And so Hopefully someone will remember and answer what you guys call it. The economic development chapter includes discussion of economic influences, including your location, major transportation corridors, employment opportunities, and labor characteristics. The chapter includes socioeconomic demographics, including educational attainment, income, employment industry, place of work, and brownfields. The top graph on the slide shows educational attainment of residents 25 and older, and that it has risen in the past years. The bottom graph shows that the median household income of North Hudson residents has consistently increased from 1989 to 2020. This chapter also includes the zoning map highlighting the commercial and industrial areas in the village. Other information includes employers and economic development programs, including the Hudson Area Chamber of Commerce. The intergovernmental cooperation chapter includes existing agreements, potential areas of cooperation and mutual planning, consolidation, existing conflicts, conflict resolution, and village communication. The land use chapter includes existing land use analysis, description of the land use classifications, development patterns, supply and demand, future need, potential land use conflicts, and redevelopment opportunities. The maps shown include the two comparison existing land use maps and changes from 2006 to 2024. Notable changes in the past 20 years include increases in residential multifamily and single-family acres, increases in vacant commercial acres, and decrease in vacant residential. A comparison of zoning and future land use is described in this chapter, and the future land use opportunities are discussed and highlighted with circles on the future land use map shown on the right. As stated at the beginning of this presentation, this implementation chapter includes the goals, objectives, and strategies in each of the required elements of the plan. In this draft plan, the goals and objectives and strategies are also statute-required issues and opportunities to facilitate and promote the action and implementation of the plan. Following adoption, the Plan Commission and Board may want to consider an annual review of this chapter and development of perhaps performance measures aligned with the objectives to achieve implementation of the plan. This chapter also includes descriptions of roles and responsibilities, plan updates, and plan consistency. And finally, Appendix A in the plan includes the public participation process, a description of the project webpage, summary of the vision session methods and results, survey methods and results, and acknowledgement of the public meetings. And with that, our next steps are this Planning Commission public hearing and recommendation through a resolution to the Board of Trustees. And then secondly, to adopt the plan, the board will consider this through adoption of an ordinance. And for the public participation, please visit the project webpage for schedule and updates, and the path is up here on the slide. With that, thank you so much for your patience and listening. Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah, at this point, anyone who wants to ask questions or comments, please come up to the podium and state your name and your address where you live. And we're only going to, being the people here, we're only going to give like 2 minutes for that opportunity to do that. So anybody wants to step up and talk and comment, please do. This is called a public hearing, so this is the opportunity to do that. Step up, please.
I will. Sure.
Once again, state your name and your address, and then, of course, we'll limit to 2 minutes. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, no, that's
You can go
okay.
right behind her.
Just
Stay
stand
right
right
there,
here
yeah.
by me. That's great. My name is Tracy Whiteley, and I live at 317 Station Lane North in Hudson. And I think you've all done such a great job of the comprehensive plan and had a lot of opportunity for us to provide input into it. I would ask, as you're considering this plan and then future actions on the implementation of the plan, to do so with special consideration of the conservancy of public lands, especially along the St. Croix River, and kind of a due process in changes to zoning. So if a piece of land is zoned commercial, please don't assume that it can be zoned something else easily, that it needs a lot of public input for that. That's it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tracy.
I also wanted to really,
Please, your name and.
oh, sorry, Mary Beth Mattia, 210 7th Street North, Hudson. And I just really wanted to thank the county and for all the participation, because I was amazed at how well it was and how many people participated and the dialogue that would go past. And I would echo what she said about the importance of the conservancy because of along Malibu, because of the dam repair that needs to happen for anything we need access, and it's in a floodplain and in the scenic river laws, the national laws about scenic riverway, and so that was thoughtfully put in from the last plan for very good reasons. And again, a change in zoning has to really consider the many ramifications. And there were some DNR concerns at some point about some poisons on the land, and keeping it conservancy keeps that from being disturbed. So thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Anyone else? Once again, this is a public hearing to comment on the comprehensive plan.
Hi, I'm Dan Schmidt. I live at 756 Summit Lane North. Thank you all for serving on the Planning Commission. I understand the complexity of the job and the fact that there's just a lot to know to make decisions and things like that. I also want to thank many of you that I've seen at the various meetings as I went into discussing the updated comprehensive plan. I am a little, I guess, confused that I look back at the 8 months of meetings that could have happened since December. The Planning Commission met 3 times. There was never a time that discussing the progress of the plan and what you had heard and what you wanted to discuss together was ever mentioned on the agenda, nor was it ever mentioned in any minutes as far as things that you took up as regular business. So it just seems like there should be lots of public dialogue that you take as a planning commission as you make the decisions and things that you want to see in the plan. So I just encourage you to keep that public dialogue and things going as you look at what the new plan will be. There is some information in the existing plan, and it's copied over in terms of the roles of the Planning Commission, the public, and the village. I'm not going to sit here and read it to you, but it's out there, and I'd just like you to really take that to heart. In 2006, Cedar Corp acted as the facilitator. Now you have St. Croix County Planning doing it, but their role is really to just help the plan have structure and to follow the regulations and things. So it's not their plan, it's really our plan for the village of North Hudson. And I really, again, thank you all for your commitment for doing this. So thanks.
Dan? Anyone else? Any other comments for a public hearing on the 2025 Planning Commission? With that, I entertain a motion to close the open hearing, the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second?
Second over here. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
All right, with that said, we're going to move on to item number 6, is resolution to 2025-05, consideration of recommendation to the Board of Trustees of North Hudson for the 2025 comprehensive plan. Open discussion amongst us is now open. Gentlemen, ladies, any open discussion as far as what you've read, what you've learned, and what you have been presented in front of you, either tonight through Nicole, and first of all, I want to comment on Nicole and any trustee that worked with this, or any individual citizens that worked on this comprehensive plan. I've been part of one of these before, and it's not here, but another, and it's, what you guys have done is extensive amount of work, and it's outstanding, and should be recommended for the work you guys have done in the 8 months period of time. I've been on one that was taking 2 years to do it. So this is outstanding, what you've done here, so you should be commended for that work. Any other comments from the planning commission?
We got a question for Paul. Have you looked this over to see, make sure that it meets all legal requirements that are,
You know, all the elements of the plan are there.
okay?
I'm not gonna comment on the content.
Right,
but
obviously, yeah.
What's in there is what's required.
Okay.
So we have an upcoming meeting next month that we're gonna review everything.
No, what's coming out of this is a proposal that's coming out of this, is that we're supposed to approve it activity tonight, but that can be
I
obviously
think,
more discussed.
in my opinion, I don't know what the rest of us think. I think that should be tabled. I think we should have more time to go through it so we can have further thought and consideration on it. That it is something that, as much as we did hear from here, and sorry I was late, I think that we should have more time to look it over and make sure that we take the time and consideration, because I do believe we have time on our hands. We don't have to rush this. I'm just wondering if that's something that anybody, if we agree on that, if we should take some more time to review that.
Well, I kind of agree with you. There's 15 pages of changes that they made to the comprehensive plan. I think it's important that we, you know, I've gone through them all, but I think we all should need to go through it and actually be in a quorum and talk about, and talk about these things, because you have to have a meeting like this to do that. Kind of referencing what Mr. Schmitz made a statement of, we need to make this in front of the planning commission and spend some time to discuss it. It's been outstanding work done, but we still need to go through each section and understand what, why and why it's in place. And then bring that, of course, back to the public who have a chance to see us discuss it. So, anyone else?
To debate, there's been ample time.
I agree.
I mean, it's not like this is a last-second deal.
Right. Our meetings
And
have
I'm-
been open to all members.
Exactly.
And to the public.
Yeah, this is by far, and I appreciate everybody that's here tonight. I don't expect this amount of people, but it would have been nice if half this group was there during these meetings that Nicole conducted. So there was a lot of time and effort put in up to this point to legitimately make a decision.
But
What is the
given that-
timeline for getting this to the board? How soon do they need this?
Well, the objective is to be done in 10 years.
No, I mean, this document.
Oh,
There's no deadline,
no.
Oh,
but
okay.
the board can't act on it until the plan commission makes a recommendation. You know, that being said, there was a schedule prepared and sort of approved as to how this was going to take place and get it done at some point, because you want to get it done.
Yeah, based on the schedule that was set up that Nicole covered earlier in the discussion, was that we were to approve it at this meeting, to be presented at the board meeting in September. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was the original timeline.
Correct, correct.
Whether
Since
you
there
wanna
is
do
no
it 8
urgency,
months.
I'm open if we want to have another night with presentations and invite the public in for more input. So be it.
Anything else? We need a motion to actually do that if we're gonna carry that forward. To allow for the planning commission time to discuss the changes and overall progress of the 2025 comprehensive plan. I need a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Against?
Nay.
Against.
2 against? Looks like it passed. With that said, item number 7 is adjourned. Thank you, people, for the Planning Commission special meeting at 5:30 on the comprehensive plan. Thank you again for your input. Thank you, the county, for all of your work that you performed.